I'm going to start off with The Dog Doesn't Bark Anymore. The dog doesn't bark anymore. He used to bark. He used to bark and bark and bark, but he doesn't bark anymore. I try not to think about that dog. The dog was a real nuisance. He used to bark and bark when he was alone in that dark apartment. He'd bark and bark until his owner came home and let the dog out the back door. The dog never barked then. He would roll on his back and kick his paws in the air. He acted like a puppy until he jumped up and ran back up the stairs. Later, he would begin to bark and bark. The neighbors complained. We all complained. Someone called the landlord. Someone called the cops. I guess the landlord had a few words with his owner. The dog doesn't bark anymore. He never barks. Never. That's what really bothers us now. Elegy for a roach. Her exoskeleton cracked under the chef's boot. Now antennae rest on the floor like pieces of cut thread. She was carrying 41 encased eggs when he chased her down. If only she hadn't been burdened by that. Her 4 vestigial wings, 3 pairs of spiny legs, and small head have been severed. Her calm-bound eyes no longer see a mosaic world. She can't draw air through the holes in her side. She can't feel anything. The ceiling light blinks. Thank you.
I always have a starter problem with a poem. Late at night, traffic lights, blink, stop, and go. Blank pages wait and park until too late. What's not done is not done, as well we know. Late at night, traffic lights blink, stop, and go. To start a rondo now seems much too slow. It won't be great at any rate by 8. Late at night, traffic lights blink, stop, and go. Blank pages wait and park until too late. And so Elizabeth is talking about noir poetry. Here's about as noir as I can get. It's the triolet to nowhere. This Christmas holds my shadow in dim light. Beside black tracks which run from dark to dark and makes it hard to see what I should write. This platform holds my shadow in dim light. No narrative of hope to set things right. On darkness, it is hard to leave your mark. This platform, Christmas, holds my shadow in dim light beside black tracks which run from dark to dark. Thank you.
So I'm going to do a Christmas-themed poem. This is titled Eddie at Christmas Time. A frightened Joe Louis at the onset of his fight with champion Jimmy Braddock. Joe Louis knocking out Jimmy Braddock in the 8th round. Joe Louis saluting the crowd after the fight. These yellow newspaper clippings of Louis and an old copy of the Knockout with the headline Checking Louis in 1939 crammed into a battered scrapbook. This isn't Eddie's scrapbook. Eddie flips through it quickly, then gets up and stands in front of the full-length mirror that is propped against the bedroom wall like a punch-drunk fighter. In this light, Eddie looks jaundiced, his masked face, bare chest with a tattooed eagle, exposed knuckles and heavy legs glow like yellow neon lights. At midnight, Eddie leans in. This isn't the Eddie he used to know. He now looks like a tired action figure, 40 pounds heavier, and no longer young. His days of skipping rope, fancy footwork, and preparing for a fight are over. Just like his dead granddad, Eddie isn't fighting anymore. Didn't he turn his life around? Didn't he learn a thing or two about business? Isn't he successful? Expensive merino wool suits hang in his closet. Black wingtips sit beside his favorite leather chair. Silk pajamas are draped across a dressed-down bed. A silk robe adorns his almost naked body. He's doing okay. Eddie strikes an action figure pose in the mirror in his striped hour cover boxer shorts. He's wearing his granddad's champion belt around his waist. Yeah, he's doing okay. But sometimes he still misses the smell of the gym full of grunting, sweating men, misses those punch mitts and his trainer, misses the sound of something hard meeting the softness of flesh. Thank you.
On the 12th day of Christmas, the sanitation Santa Claus slings his sack onto a garbage truck. In case you didn't catch that first time, on the 12th day of Christmas, the sanitation Santa Claus slings his sack onto a garbage truck. So we play around with these images, and one of the my favorite words in English is stand, because it stands for so many things, and it's called stand up, stand fast, stand trial. Don't stand on the sidelines. Take the witness stand. Understand the dangers of standing under a ladder with a standard poodle. Stand up for Xmas. Stand your ground. Delivered to a hot dog stand. Be a stand-up guy, gal, comedian. Stand by your man, woman, me. Stand up for Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Lao Tzu. Stand up for Advent. Be the standout standard bearer. Try for a standing start on standard time. Wear the standard issue. Endure a standing wait. Become the last one standing. Make your last stand. Stand up for Hanukkah. Don't be standoffish. Adjust your stance for a standstill standoff. Improve your standing with standing committees. Be sure what you stand for. Don't stand back. Snap back with stand back. Beware of standard deviations. Leave a standalone standing order with standard marking. Send a stanzaic ad. Stand pat. Don't become standardized. Stand up for the first day of winter. Stand clear of the standing joke about standing bail for the stand-in on standby. Set high standards. Grandstand the standing ovation. Stand up. Stand down.
Outstanding. In my book Sliders, I do several crime blotters. They are fictitious, of course, but this is crime blotter number 1, 34 times. When she woke me up, she was screaming, "Find the title to the car, damn it!" We began to argue. They say I must have stabbed her 34 times before they broke down the door. I don't remember. 34 times? I'll take their word for it. Me, I can't remember a thing except those screams and the sound of an airplane flying overhead. When the cops broke down the door, I told them, explaining, after her screams woke me up, we began to argue. I just wanted to shut her up before the cops broke down the door. Shut up, I said. She wouldn't listen. She never listened. Shut up! Shut up! I said over and over. I do remember it. The sound of an airplane when the cops broke down the door. We had been arguing. I don't remember stabbing her 34 times. Find the title to the car, damn it, she was screaming. I just wanted to shut her up. 34 times. I don't remember. I'm going to do an actual Christmas one now. I did receive these postcards from a friend, and those postcards inspired this poem. Antique postcards, gift from a friend. I received the 2 postcards today. Postcards from sister to brother. Typical holiday cards a sister sends a brother. I think it is a shame you have disappointed us so. I have been looking for you on every train, one of them says. While the other hopes he will receive the package with the best wishes for a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Postcards in clear plastic covers, stamped with green 1-cent Ben Franklin postage, musty, bruised yellow postcards that feel like old skin when I touch them. Thank you.
Oh, to get back on the dark side of Christmas, here's Dancing in the Dark with Modena. Dad's Xmas party was fully inebriated. Dad's Xmas party was fully inebriated. I told the guys they should hear my classic 78 RPM rumba records. Told them it would be a lot more fun than standing around and yakking about business and politics. So I made them mad to rumba. So I led 5 husbands up to my dim-lit attic room. I was just 15. Carl's wife, Modena, came too. She was lit up, dancing around, and the next thing I knew, she was dancing with me. Henry King's Jungle Drums got us going, a real bump and grind as the drums heated up. Carl wasn't there, but the other guys didn't cut in. They didn't want to get caught with Modena. She was a willow with roving branches. Dad looked mad, but his buddies cheered us on like she was a holiday present for us all. By the end of the 3-minute record, Modena complained that I had dropped her too quick. Flushed from the heat, I told her that I needed to find the next record. Not that I had glimpsed Carl coming slowly up the stairs. "What are you doing up here, Modena? I couldn't find you." "Oh, just playing with Tom's Christmas presents." My Eagle Christmas party. Okay, we'll get serious here. Death in Santa's suit, thick frost beard, waits to serve our Christmas dinner. He is chatty and fat, his plump hands hover above the choking patrons. Death is too spooked to recall the Heimlich maneuver. Tearful, he waits for hours, gnaws a leftover chicken bone until the phone rings, dead on arrival. Death unwinds with a short run after working out, daydreaming at the bus stop, fails to see the 7-year-old running late against the light, only manages to catch her lifeless as she bounces off a bumper before she can hit the curb. Death queues up at the pharmacy checkout, his face red with coughing as he sweats through layers of robes and tries to deliver mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to an old man in pulmonary collapse. But he has no air to give. Death shells the enemy lines, cuts the barbed wire, leads the battlefield charge with a skull and crossbones flag, halts to save a buddy, shoves him out of the way of the bullet with his name on it, into the hair-trigger minefield. Death wades despondent into the icy lake, gets dragged out by the fire department's rescue squad, pulls through with intensive nursing, dry clothes, electric blankets, warm baths, hot meals, aspirin, and is back on the week, is back on the street in time for Christmas.
Eddie's Slider World in 3 parts. 85% lean meat sliders, 4 of them, and chili in a plastic cup, nestled inside a greasy white bag at 2 a.m. Your feet propped up on the bed while you watch cigarette smoke jump through smoke rings. Not much has changed, Eddie. You still listen to your dad's old vinyl records. You still wonder how you got here. No use doing an inventory when you don't intend to change a thing, and the brightest moon in 18 years shines through the open window. You decide you can make your own 85% lean meat sliders right at home. See, you say to me, all I have to do is form them into 2-inch square patties, punch 5 or 6 holes in each patty, wrap them in wax paper, and freeze them. until I'm ready to cook. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's not every day folks get to eat sliders right out of the pan, and you add, hot dog buns cut in half work best. Eddie, always the smart one. It's not a great idea, Eddie, to be at the computer during a rainstorm, but you have to get it down while you can. The look of those all-night diners with their white tiles like something out of a bad noir movie. The scent of Subway roses and dime store vases. The memory of your blacked-out dad eating sliders. The stench of a cigarette going out on the kitchen table. Thank you.
Here's a tarantella triolet. You all know what the tarantella is, of course. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then Dr. Tom will enlighten you. It's big spiders down in Italy, and the spiders would bite people, and there was no cure for the bite except somebody discovered you did the right kind of a dance, then that would eradicate the poison, and
hopefully
so they
you'd live.
invented this dance, the tarantella.
It didn't work, did it?
The dance of life is the dance of death. The dance of death is the dance of life. Dance until you run out of breath. The dance of life is the dance of death. Bump and grind while you still have breath. Fandango to the edge of the night. The dance of life is the dance of death. The dance of death is the dance of life, and the answer to your question is yes.
Okay.
What was the question?
What was the question, right? Yeah.
I forgot.
Whether it worked or not.
Does it work?
Yes, it works. Apparently.
It works. And the next spider bite you get,
Start dancing.
and dance your way to Italy, Sicily. That'll do it.
I'm going to, I wrote another book titled Scarbo, The Chronicles of Scarbo. And in this book, there's quite a few judgment dreams. So this is titled Another Judgment Dream. It's in 3 parts. The dwarf is sitting next to me. He's reading Les Fleurs de Mal while he sips a gin and tonic almost as big as him. And here I am, minding my own business while the bartender wipes a table with a dirty rag, and I watch a spider crawl across the floor. So far, so good. I could hear the bells in the harbor, see the moon through the window that is like a white rabbit someone has pulled out of a battered black hat. Observe a few thrashing stars. I am so happy. Really I am. Too. I know I've had too much to drink. When I start blathering something about sin and redemption to anyone who will listen, and the dwarf begins to sway back and forth, before pulling a derringer on me. And I'm not frightened. In fact, I think it's pretty funny, which isn't a good thing, because everyone's running out of the place and now it's only him and me. Even the bartender has gone to the bathroom to scratch his fleas. The little bastard is stuttering now. And his absent reflection in the barroom mirror only makes me laugh harder while a hard rain is pelting the windows outside and baby love is playing over and over in my head when I hit the sawdust floor. 3. Sometimes I simply unravel, begin to bray like a wounded mule. There's no ignoring me or shutting me up. A bald affliction has seized me, and no amount of small talk can talk me down. I'm a rotten egg in brine. I'm lime and salt on the rim of a bad margarita. A bleeding scratch that won't coagulate. Phlegm on a barroom floor. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to do one more holiday suite in honor of Black Friday, Christmas, and so on. Holiday suite, Black Friday. The store is packed with customers, and I'm riding the crest of the crowd like a surfer the big one is about to swallow. I can feel it, a kind of panic that really kicks in when I step onto the escalator. I can hardly breathe. So I leave the store, stop off at the nearest bar, down a few shots, quick and straight, just like my old man used to do after work. I pay the tab and walk toward the shed aquarium. I want to see the fish. I change my mind, duck into a hotel bar 5 blocks away, have a few more shots, stare at my face in the bar room mirror, stare at some Christmas cactus at the end of the bar, and try to relax. What a trip, I say to the bartender. No kidding, he shoots back, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. We're still alive. Christmas Eve. The lobby of the Hilton is especially glum at Christmas time in spite of the 3 fake trees decorated with white lights, red bows, and silver ornaments the size of small balloons. The long hotel hallway festooned with decorations and all those shiny store windows seem to sag under the weight of so much good cheer. I stroll past a boutique, newsstand, gift shop, and jewelry store with its display of diamond rings and overpriced necklaces. I'm not looking to buy, but I find myself looking anyway, just like some guy giving a girl the once over. I'm whistling, spring will be a little late this year. Then a guy bumps into me, does his I'm sorry routine before he moves on. Later, in the hotel bathroom, I notice my wallet's gone. What a drag. No money and no alligator wallet. Dolores would be real mad about the wallet. It was an early Christmas gift from her. Oh well. Bad stuff always happens to me. I say to myself, get a grip, yeah. The trees on the boulevard are wrapped in blue lights. I've had a few, and the cigarette sure tastes good. I walk through the hotel revolving door into a night that smells like clean laundry and a woman's fading perfume. Thank you.
In this revolutionary time, the only thing we have to cheer us up is the revolution. And this is Marksman at Xmas time. pulls on his work gloves at 5 a.m., grabs his hard hat, lunch pail, and sled, strides heroically to the bus stop, where he hijacks the #1 bus to the revolution. Marksman marks his territory by riding in the snow with his gun barrel next to Moneyman's cone. How much is enough? Marksman considers and writes in revolutionary script, a lot more than that.
Marksman is a marked man. FBI crosshairs mark the back of his neck. Marksman clutches a Molotov cocktail in one hand and a Manhattan in the other, stops off at Walmart, buys a used barricade. The clerk throws in a red flag free of charge. Marksman likes that. Signs him up for the workers' paradise and chants the workers' clause, to each according to his needs. Marksman is the revolution's Santa Claus, building snow forts, arming snowmen. He incites a new revolt, a replacement oppression, a fresh apprehension, and even more revolts, of revolutions on replay. He gets those L's off the assembly line and onto the picket line. Marksman is a barker man, loudly questions who'll wag the dog, walk the dog, dog his walk, or eat the dogs when the revolution is done. Marksman is a marked man who still quotes Karl Marx. Marksman is the man who paints crosshairs on the back of boss man's bald head. Marksman is a crack shot of the rifle range, a crackerjack in debate, a crackpot cracking jokes, a cross-dressing Santa to give the workers what they wish for. Marksman tangos around the corner, fires warning shots into the tires of boss man's bulletproof black stretch limo. Marksman takes a long shot on big shots, bumps off people who can't be replaced. Marksman is a remarkable Santa man. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenene and Tom. Thanks so much. That was a real treat. That was lovely. That was it was really lovely. You're such great performers, and your poetry's so good.